Now, let us begin our class with Brahmanad. Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Swastha. Today we will go through the lesson The Doctor's Sword by R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan or Rashipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy. Here, Rashipuram was the place or the birthplace or the place where the writer was born. Krishnaswamy Iyer was his father and his own name is Narayan Swamy. When we combine his birthplace and his father's name with his own name, we get R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan was born in 1906 and passed away in 2001. R.K. Narayan is an eminent English novelist and short story writer. His narrative writings highlight social context and provide a feel for his character through everyday life. The writer has created a fictional or an imaginary town called Malgudi that stood for reality. The heading or the title of the lesson said to us that we the people give more importance to the words of a doctor. The words of a doctor are given much importance as doctors are considered next to God as they save the lives of the patients. The doctor saves lives of his patients with his skill, but more than with his soothing words. Soothing words means comforting words. And remember, soothing words of a doctor work miraculously or amazingly for a patient even he or she is in a very critical condition. So, the doctors always remain calm and reserved even in adverse situation. Now, let us go through the text. People came to him. Here, him refers to Dr. Raman. When did people come to him? People came to him when the patient was on his last legs. When the patient was on his last legs, that means when the patient was at the last stage of his life. So, what have you understood? When the patient was at the last stage of his life, then only he was taken to Dr. Raman. And when the patient was taken to Dr. Raman at the last stage of his life, he burst out or he shouted by saying, Why could not you have come a day earlier? You would have brought your patients. You would have brought your patient to me a day earlier or beforehand. The reason was clear. The reason was obvious. That means there were two reasons why people avoided to take their patients to Dr. Raman. And what were the two reasons? The first reason was that his visiting fee was very high. And the second reason was that people avoided to take their patients to Dr. Raman because it was considered an ominous sign with the very association of Dr. Raman. The reason was clear. Visiting fee 25 rupees and more than that people like to shirk. Shirk means avoid the fact that the time had come to call in Dr. Raman For then there was something ominous in the very association. So, what have you understood? There were two reasons why people avoided to take their patients to Dr. Raman. And what were the reasons? The first reason was that his visiting fee, which was 25 rupees during those days, it was considered a high amount. Secondly, it was also considered an ominous means threatening sign if the patients were taken to Dr. Raman. As people knew, patients were taken to Dr. Raman only when they were at the last stage of their lives. There was, as a result, when the big man, here big man refers to Dr. Raman, came on the scene, it was always a quick decision, one way or another. See, he was an experienced doctor. Dr. Raman was a very experienced doctor. He could diagnose the disease of the patient easily. And when the big man, here the big man refers to Dr. Raman, came on the scene, he could give his decision quickly. He could say to the patient whether he would recover from his disease or pass away. So, as a result, when the big man came on the scene, it was always a quick decision, one way or another. One way refers to whether to recover, or another means to pass away. There was no scope or no time for any kind of wavering. Wavering means indecision or whitewashing. Whitewashing means hiding someone's unpleasant truth. But whatever he diagnosed, he spoke that only to his patients and their people. So there was no scope or time for any kind of wavering or whitewashing. And this was possible on his part because of his long years experience. Long years of practice of this kind had bred in the doctor a certain cort. Cort means short, S-H-O-R-T. C-U-R-T. Cort means short or sharp truthfulness. For that very reason, people gave much importance to the words of Dr. Raman. For that very reason, his opinion was valued. He was not mere a doctor expressing an opinion, but a judge pronouncing a verdict. That means giving his last decision. Hence, the patient's life hung on his words. The patient's life hung on the words of Dr. Raman. This never unduly bothered and falsely worried Dr. Raman. He never believed that pleasing words or soothing words would ever save the lives of the patients. He never believed that agreeable words means soothing words or comforting words, ever saved lives. He did not think it was his duty or it was his business to provide unnecessary dope. To provide unnecessary dope means unnecessary hope, when, as a matter of fact, nature would tell them the truth in a few hours. When the nature would tell the truth in a few hours, he did not want to provide an unnecessary dope or unnecessary hope in his patients. So, whatever he diagnosed, he spoke that only to his patients and their people. If he found there was a chance of survival, he would tell the patients and their people that the patient might recover from his illness. If there was no chance of any survival, he would tell on the face of the patients and their people that the patient would die. So he never believed that agreeable words ever saved lives. This never unduly worried Dr. Raman. He never believed that agreeable words ever saved lives. He did not think it was any kind of his business to provide unnecessary dope when, as a matter of course, nature would tell them the truth in a few hours. However, when he glimpse means saw slightly, if he saw slightly of a sign of survival, he would apply his knowledge, apply his skill to save the life of his patient. However, when he glimpsed the faintest sign of hope, he rolled off his sleep. It is an idiom. Rolled off his sleep means prepared to work or got ready and rolled off his sleeve and stepped into the arena. Stepped into the arena means entered into the operation theater to save the life of the patient, provided he found the slightest sign of recovery. However, when he glimpsed the faintest sign of hope, he rolled up his sleeve and stepped into the arena. It might be hours or days, but he never withdrew. Never withdrew means never gave up till he rested. Rested means took forcibly the prize from the hands of Lord Yama. It means he would not give up, trying his best to save the life of his patient, provided he found or he saw the slightest hope of the survival of his patient. Now let us proceed to Unit 2. Today, standing over. Standing over is a phrasal verb. It means standing very close. Today, standing over a bed, the doctor felt that he himself needed someone to tell him soothing lies. Today, standing over a bed, standing very close to a bed, he wanted that someone should come to him and tell him soothing lies, as he understood that the condition of the patient was very critical and the patient was very close to him. The patient was his dearest friend and he did not want that his friend should die so early. So he wanted in his own case that someone should come to him and tell him soothing lies. See, there is a proverb in English, easier said than done. It is easy to say to others, but it is very difficult when we apply in our own practical lives. See, he did not feel bad when he used to say to the patients, if he found there was no chance of recovery, that the patient would die, that he could say to the patients. But in his own case, he diagnosed the patient would die, but he wanted that someone should come to him and tell him that nothing would happen to his friend or to his, dearest friend Gopal. He mopped. Here mopped means wiped. M-O-P-P-E-D. Mopped means wiped or cleaned his brow with his handkerchief and sat down in the chair beside the bed. And who was lying on the bed? It was Gopal. And who was Gopal? Gopal was the bosom friend or the dearest friend of Dr. Raman. On the bed lay his dearest friend in the world, Gopal. Both Dr. Raman and Gopal had known each other for 40 years, starting with their kindergarten days, and they had known each other in their childhood days, kindergarten days. Kindergarten means here, kindergarten days means childhood days. They had known each other for 40 years now, starting with their kindergarten days. They could not meet as much as they wanted because each being wrapped. Here, wrapped means not covered, wrapped means burdened or busy in his own profession and family. Occasionally means sometimes on a Sunday, Gopal would walk into the consulting room or the meeting room of Dr. Raman's clinic and wait patiently in a corner till his friend Dr. Raman was free from his job. And when Dr. Raman became free from his job, both the friends would eat together, see a movie, and talk of each other's lives and activities. So there stood a classic friendship. Classic friendship means excellent friendship. So it was a classic friendship standing over, untouched by changing times, circumstances, and activities. So their friendship was untouched by changing times, circumstances, and activities. In a busy round of work, here busy round of work means in his busy schedule, he remained busy. Dr. Raman remained busy. As he remained busy, he had forgotten that his dearest friend Gopal had not visited him for over 3 months. In his busy schedule, Dr. Raman had not noticed that Gopal had not called in for over 3 months now. But one day, he suddenly remembered about his dearest friend Gopal when he saw his friend's son sitting on a bench in his consulting room one morning. And then here he just remembered about his dearest friend Gopal when he saw his friend's son sitting on a bench in the consulting room one crowded morning. But he could not talk that time. He could not talk to him at that time, and he could not talk to the son of his dearest friend Gopal for over an hour. And when he got up and was about to pass onto the operation room, he called up the young man and asked why he had come there. The son of Gopal or Gopal's son was nervous and shy, so he said when he was asked by Dr. Raman why he had come there, he told him that mother had sent him there. When the son of Gopal or Gopal's son was said what he could do for him by Dr. Raman, then Gopal's son said to Dr. Raman that his father was ill. Thus, Dr. Raman came to know about the illness of his dearest friend Gopal through his friend's son. Now, let us proceed to the next unit. It was an operation day, and many patients had come for their treatment, and he could not ignore the patients who had come to his clinic for treatment. And Dr. Raman was not free till 3 p.m. He remained busy till 3 p.m. So he could not go to the house of Gopal immediately after knowing about his illness. It was an operation day and he was not free till in the afternoon. And when he became free from his job, he rushed up straight from the clinic to his friend's house. And where was his friend's house? His friend's house was at Lawley Extension Road. And when he reached the house of his dearest friend Gopal, he found his friend Gopal was lying in bed as if in sleep. The doctor stood over him and asked Gopal's wife, how long has he been in bed? See, after reaching the house of his friend, he found his friend Gopal was lying in bed as if in sleep. He asked a few questions to his friend's wife. He asked the first question, how long had he been sick? How long has he been bed? The reply he got from his friend's wife was that a month and a half. He had been sick for a month and a half. Then the next question asked by Dr. Raman to his friend's wife was that who was attending him? The answer he got from his friend's wife was that a doctor in the next street. And that doctor comes down once in 3 days and gives him medicines. So he thought he must be knowing about that doctor. So Dr. Raman asked to tell him the name of that doctor who was attending his friend. Of course, he was told the name of the doctor who was attending Gopal, but he had never heard that name before. He had never heard of him. So he said, someone I don't know, but I wish he had the goodness to tell me about it, what he had diagnosed and what medicines he had prescribed to the patient. He wanted to know. Then he said to his friend's wife, why could not you have sent me word earlier? She knew, Gopal's friend knew that Dr. Raman was the best friend of her husband. Even then, she had not sent a word about the illness of her husband to Dr. Raman. So Dr. Raman asked his friend's wife, why could not you have sent me a word earlier? Then Gopal's wife said to Dr. Raman, we thought you would be busy and we did not want to trouble you unnecessarily. They were apologetic and miserable. Here, the family members of Gopal were apologetic, regretful, and miserable. He diagnosed the disease of his friend Gopal. So he thought no time to be lost. If he wanted to save the life of his friend Gopal, there was hardly any time to be lost. He took off means removed his coat and opened his bag. Thereafter, he took out an injection tube and the needle sizzled. Sizzled means boiled over the stove to make it free from germs. The sick man's wife whimpered in a corner and essayed means endeavored, essayed means tried to ask questions. But Dr. Raman immediately stopped her and told her not to ask any questions to him. Please don't ask questions, snapped the doctor. Dr. Raman found the children of Gopal were in that room. He looked at the children who were watching the sterilizer and said, Dr. Raman said to his friend's wife, send them all away except the eldest one, because he might needed the help of the eldest one. So he said to his friend's wife, send them all away somewhere except the eldest. Then he shot in the dog. He gave the injection to his friend. After giving the injection, he sat back in his chair and gazed on the patient's face for over an hour to find some improvement in him. But the patient still remained motionless, and there was no improvement. Even an injection was given to him. The doctor's face gleamed. Here, gleamed means shone, S-H-O-N-E, shone with sweat or perspiration. The doctor's face gleamed with perspiration, and his eyelids drooped. Drooped means hung downward. His eyelids drooped with fatigue. Fatigue, fatigue means weary or tired. The sick man's wife or Gopal's wife stood in a corner and watched silently. Then she asked timidly if she would prepare some coffee for him. She asked timidly, "Doctor, shall I make some coffee for you?" Dr. Raman replied, "No," although he felt famished. Famished means hungry, as he had missed his lunch. He had not taken his midday meal. See, till 3 in the afternoon, he was busy in his own cleaning. After 3, when he became free, he straight away went to the house of Gopal. So he had not taken his lunch that day. He had missed his midday meal. He got up and said, "I will be back in a few minutes." And he advised that the patient should not be disturbed on any account or in any situation. "I will be back in a few minutes. Don't disturb him on any account." After that, he picked up his bag and went to his chair. In a quarter of an hour means within 15 minutes, he returned. He was back. And this time, he did not come alone. He was followed by an assistant and a nurse. This time, he was followed by an assistant and a nurse. The doctor told the lady of the house, here lady of the house refers to Gopal's wife, that he had to perform an operation. Hearing about the operation of her husband, she got nervous and she asked, Why? She asked faintly. Dr. Raman said, "I will tell you all that soon. Will you leave your son here to help us and go over to the next room and go over to the next room and stay there till I call you." The lady of the house or Gopal's wife felt dizzy or giddy and sat down or sank down on the floor as she was unable to tolerate, as she was unable to wear the strain. The strain means the stress. The nurse attended her and helped her to take her to the next room. The nurse attended to her and led her out of the room. And the next 2 units we will go through in our next video. Thank you.